Oh yeah, we'll be all right there. It's actually really good. I got that there really fine, super fine valve grinding compound on there. Don't think you should need none, but just to test yourself to see what the contact is on the valve face, probably should show you that. Oh yeah, we probably should look at that for that. That I run that compound around through there. Oh yeah. The way a valve looks from the valve grinder over there. You know, if we can get a light on it somewhere where we can get yeah, that's good enough. But way I built them, just, you know, kind of thinking about it, it's just whatever kind of material you want to make the stem out of. The head, I think, is kind of important that you make it out of cast iron. So, you know, we just turned that to shape with the 45 on it. This being one from the lathe. This one has not been in the valve grinder. And it's just, well, it's good to go. That's the intake. And this one, well, let's get it. Let's put it back out of the way in safety. And we'll put a little compound on that. Run it around through there a couple of times. See what kind of, what the contact, what the, where the seat lays at in the, and I think it will be a little bit to the top side. Oh yeah, that's too much. Exhaust and intake had a screw on, and exhaust had a pin and a thing. The early models had two like this here. They're easier to make, just one step left. And on that valve there, all I'd done is press that in there with a couple of thousandths interference fit, you know, pressed it into the, and there is a undercut on the end of the valve stem. There's about a 20 thousandths, you know, 15 thousandths, whatever you want to do. I like to leave the stem to the bigger size, but there is a step there that you can, when you press those two together, this will bottom out against the valve right there to keep it going on through the valve. And then this right here was just peened over. You know, that's just a peen fitting, no welding, no heat at all on these. One of them was a pretty decent press fit, and the other one was what I would call, you know, book type. You know, with about 2,000 interference, which ain't much, you know. Oh yeah, let's. I'm going to raise that off seat, and then that's a really little bitty Allen wrench right there, a little hex wrench, and I'm going to pull it. I'm going to pull the valve to the seat, and then I'm going to turn it down here like this. If we can see it, well, maybe I can do it this hand. Okay, that was very minimal. Only 3, like that. Well, you seen what it done. Let's see what kind of. Let's see where our. Yeah, I'm gonna rest. See, that's gonna be all right. Okay. You know, this is just kind of normal. This is nothing. This is nothing unusual. It's like these old engines do talk to you. And looking at this valve wire pattern here, it tells you a lot about we'll talk. Let's talk about that first. Let's see what our seat looks like. That's the face down there. That's a valve face right there. That's a valve seat down yonder. This is the exhaust. Goes right through there. So, yeah. Well, you know, kind of what more could you ask for? But the way these engines talk to you is when you look at that seat. That's a 2 angle right there. I didn't have that one to go down in the center yonder, but it looks like about a 1/16 of an inch seat around there, which it's better to have that uniform seat than it is to have a wide seat. With a wide valve seat, the distance of that, if you have a little piece of soot or some kind of contamination, it has a more wider surface to adhere to, and it just keeps building up. Plus, there's some heat transfer properties that you need a certain size seat for the heat to transfer, expansion. It's a whole numbers game to blueprint it, really. But this valve, well, it's, I should measure that, but I'm not going to. And I'll, do you want a math lesson? No, it ain't math. I'll tell you something. It's just the way this one worked out. This one here is pretty much even. The seat from the top to bottom, this one happened to be dead center almost, it with a small bias to the top. But this is a valve grinding machine, stone, with the lubricant on it. That's the finish you get with that machine. And this right here is with a lathe bit. And the lathe was turning a little bit too fast. My lathe, I can't gear it down enough to do cast iron work the way it's supposed to be done. I always have to turn it too fast. But it's what it is. And I'll tell you something. Now this is this right here tells you about your valve grinder. It's the first time that I have used it. This is the first valve that I have used since putting it back together from moving it from the east coast of Arkansas. So I put the thing back together and also added the coolant system to it, the oil, the cooling fluid, or whatever it is. And I did take the diamond thing to the stone there and faced it up and everything. The machine's in very good condition and tight, and no problems with the machine. She said, "You gonna tell them all of this?" I said, "Yeah." The one on the left. But I think this is, now it's just the way it happened. You know what I mean? I didn't have one to go by to go back and make an adjustment to get to this point. This was just the way that the machine tightened up. There is a scale on it that you can move back and forth, and it does have a, I'll show you. It has a scratch mark like that. Some more of them, like this and this. And that's like 45 degrees, and that's like 25 and 10, you know what I mean. So, and when you want to set it, you just bring the machine around to where that you think it's at, and then you tighten down the bolts. Well, I think if you put the dial indicator, some kind of test instrument, onto the machine, I think you would find that it's not off at all. It's actually to the point that you usually don't get, because I show you something right here with a pencil and paper. Oh, you gonna get more for your money today, and it's all free to start with. Now I'll show you something about these valves. I mean, it's got a full seat. It's just biased to the top by some measurement, because you can tell it by the shadow line, by the wire. I guess you can tell I'm proud of that valve. Boy, she said, that girl on the left said they ain't gonna know what you was talking about then. I said, well, it's all in the book. You know, get the book, read it, and you'll know after you build a bunch of these, you'll know if you're getting it